Carmelo Anthony appeared to have a significant weight loss. Just thought, your reaction to it, did you want him to do that? How do you think it's going to affect his game, et cetera?
Well, I'll start out by just saying that in our exit meetings last April, we really emphasized to the players about conditioning and about being prepared to play. And some of the guys I actually asked about, what was your last body, composition, what percentage fat, etc. And I don't even know if I asked Carmelo that, but I asked most of the players about that in the medical checkup about that, skinfold. So we just wanted to know what kind of condition guys were at the end of the season, and to make an emphasis about the fact that we don't think training camp's the beginning of our next season. We think that, July 1st is the beginning of the next season as we turn things over and we start making adjustments, and players have to appropriately use their time for rest and recuperation, for weight training, and then for conditioning. And Carmelo took that very seriously.
Yeah, Mark, I'll just add to that. We could see that Carmelo was taking it seriously. This summer he asked, he took a lot of players with him. When he went to Puerto Rico, there were 2 or 3 occasions where he asked our training staff to come and work out with him. So he said he was going to take this off season and really work on his body, and he did that.
Well, I think Carmelo's, decision to, kind of redefine, his physical makeup is, I think it's pretty consistent with, where a lot of guys are going in sports right now. I don't view it as he was in such terrible shape that he had to change himself. I just think it's more consistent with as guys age and they're trying to find ways to maximize a great opportunity to play in the NBA for as long as you can. That was part of his decision making. So how it impacts him on the court, we'll see. Whenever you're healthy and you lighten the load on your body, it can help you. But Carmelo's a physical player. So I see him being able to do whatever it is he needs to do on the court, similar to how he's done in the past. But only time will tell.
I was curious, whose decision was it to do training camp next week at Westpoint, and what was the impetus behind that, if any?
We spent some time as a group talking about past experiences as to where we've had training camp as an organization. I guess I'll take the blame or the credit, whichever one that turns out to be. We would like to have done it longer, but they have a football game. We understand that. We played within what we could do with what the time was, the time frame that we had. So, we're going there with the hopes that, we'll give players an idea of the discipline and the character that makes up some of the best of our country that come to this academy to work and to get educated. So we're looking forward to doing that, and we think it's a great opportunity for us.
What was your reaction to LeBron joining forces with Kevin Love? How it alters the landscape of the NBA, and also how it might impact or influence the direction that you are going to lead the Knicks into?
Well, I think all of us could comment on that, not just myself, but both Steve and Derek. I see it flattening out the Eastern Conference, dispersing the talent a little bit around, because the advent of Love, obviously, LeBron in Cleveland changes the conference from having 2 teams that were, below or around 500 to having teams, probably all 8 teams, having to be, above 45, 46 wins to get into the playoffs. So it's going to change how that goes. But then again, how many teams are going to be able to win 60 games in our conference is going to be different too. Indiana may have slid a little bit because of the injuries and the loss of players. We don't know. They have a pretty cohesive unit there. They might be able to sustain it. Teams like Charlotte, Washington are coming up. We saw their progress this last year. So there's going to be a real healthy challenge in our conference. I think we got to really good chance at settling in and finding a way to play and winning in this conference and being effective. I think the big key about it is the learning process during the course of the season. But I think I see this pretty open division that we're in, and hopefully we can get out to a good start. Derek?
What he said. No, I mean, I think, no, in a lot of ways that's true. It has, I think, changed the balance of the Eastern Conference in terms of, I guess, the parity or more of a competitive balance from top to bottom. Last year, the 8th seed Atlanta Hawks, I think, won 38 basketball games and got into the playoffs. I don't know if that'll happen this year. And so, I'm not as concerned with the personalities per se as just, the teams themselves. And I think Washington, Charlotte are really good teams that will be tough to deal with. I think that Atlanta, having the playoff experience of a year ago and coming within one game of beating the Indiana Pacers, will be a tough team in the Eastern Conference to play against. And so there are a number of teams, I think, in the conference now that have something to fight for. I think Miami will feel like they have a lot to fight for in the Eastern Conference. So I think it'll be a lot more fun to watch this year in terms of the balance of teams in the East.